What's going on YouTube? Gary here, gzduels, bringing you guys a deck profile of my Madolches. And for this deck profile, I'm going to be using Hootcake, and Hootcake comes out after the Lord of Tachyon Galaxy, so it's a bit further in the future, but this deck will be changed forever after Hootcake comes out. So without further ado, let me just go into the deck profile. I have 2 Trigodias, 3 Gelato, 3 Mageline, 3 Croissant, 2 Hootcake, 3 Mew, 3 Card D, Dark Hole, 2 Pot of Duality, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, 3 Tickets, 3 Chateaus, 2 Bottomless Trap Hole, 2 Threatening Roar, 1 Starlight Road, 1 Ultimate Offering, and the Solemn Brigade. With the extra deck, I have 1 Stardust Dragon, 2 Gemini Pearl, 1 Gemini Pearl, 1 Utopia, 1 Shockmaster, 2 Tiramisu, 1 Armor Ninja, 1 Black Ship of Corn, 1 Excalibur, 1 Maestroke, Acid Golem, Leviathan Dragon, Leviaire, Invoker, and Zemains. And the side deck, I have 2 Thunder King Ryos, 2 Kaiku, 2 Maxi, 2 Effect Veiler, 2 Mind Crush, 2 Dust Tornadoes, 2 Gozen Match, and 1 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Alright, so let me just talk about some of the cool things you can do with this deck. Trigodia is definitely the MVP of the deck, with all the stuff that you get, all the pluses that you get from Madolche Ticket, and the stuff that you get back to your hand from Madolche Chateau. You'll pretty much build up a really big hand, and Trigodia can get very big, like 3,600, and Gelato, of course you guys know, so I'm going to talk about Card D. Card D is vital to this deck. Not only does it help with consistency, it also combos very well with Hootcake. So Hootcake's effect, if you don't know, is when this card in your possession is destroyed. Well, that's the mandatory Madolche effect. But the other effect is you can target 1 monster in your graveyard, banish that target, special summon 1 Madolche monster from your deck, except Madolche Hootcake. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, as you know, all the Madolches basically go back to the deck or go to the hand. So how do you get a monster into the graveyard for Hootcake to activate? You can sit on Trigodia until you get your combo, or you can just use Card D, and then Hootcake can just banish Card D in order to set off the combo. So Card D is really important. And of course, if you use Card D, your opponent tries to go for a game, tries to ODK you, you'll have a really big Trigodia, or like your opponent tries to attack you, just Threatening Roar. So it's really safe to play Card D, and that's why I play 3, so that like Hootcake can easily become live in this deck. And also, as you guys might have noticed, I don't run any Madolche Palooza. The reason for that is I feel like Madolche Palooza is like encouraging you to overcommit, encouraging you to try to push. I think that it's not really needed once you have Hootcake. Once you have Hootcake, you can easily spam the field. You can always banish Card D in order to get Gelato, in order to get that search. So it's even better to just like hold on to your resources until for that vital moment where you just go ahead and go for game. And yeah, so I guess there's nothing much to be said about the main deck, so I'll just talk about a little bit about this the extra deck. The extra deck, as you guys can see, I run Excalibur and Blade Armor Ninja, and some people may be wondering, you know, like it's really rare that you might be able to exceed with 2 Gelatos, which are warriors. But actually, if you go for Hootcake and the Mew effect combo, so you just summon Mew and then special summon Hootcake. Hootcake banishes Card D, special summons the first Gelato. Gelato searches for Chateau, and then you play Chateau immediately. After that, you exceed with Madolche Hootcake and Mew, and you get Invoker. Invoker, you can detach either one of these 2, it doesn't matter, as long as you put a Madolche in the graveyard. And Invoker special summons another Gelato from your deck, and then you can exceed for Tiramisu. And then Tiramisu detaches and returns 2 to the deck. But since you already played Chateau, it returns them to the hand. So it's like infinite pluses, and you return 2 cards your opponent has from the field to the deck. But as you can see, in that instant, what you did have was a exceed summon of 2 Gelatos. So in fact, when you go for like the bigger plays, especially when you go for like Ultimate Offering, what you essentially can do is end off with like Tiramisu and Blade Armor Ninja or Excalibur, and it's just really good. it's just really good to OTK your opponent at that point. So I put those two in, and the side deck is pretty straightforward. One thing about Max C and Effect Veiler is if they end up in the graveyard, great, because then your Hootcake can just like go off and it becomes more alive. So your opponent tries to activate some effect, you say no, and then when it's your turn, you've stopped their play. When it's your turn, you just go Hootcake and you just spam the field. And of course, you have to play the mandatory Dust Tornadoes and 3 Space Typhoons. As you can see, I don't play Heavy Storm because that hurts a lot, because especially with these 2 cards. So I need these to get rid of like macro and any annoying traps that might get in the way of us pushing for game. And Gozen Match is also really good in this deck because everything except for this is Earth, and Gozen Match is just overall great. And Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for those Dark World matches and Chaos Dragon matches and Sector matches, I think are still pretty relevant, so just put that in case. Yeah, so there's nothing much else for me to say. Please comment, like, subscribe if you like this deck profile. I'll definitely do more of these and upload more consistently. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. This is gzduel, Gary, signing out.